Hey guys, this is Erin O'Brien from the movie Clinton Road that just came out, and you are watching The Wolfman.
Hey everybody, it's the 13th Wolfman. You know what? It's time for sit down again, and today I have with me one of the stars of Clinton Road, Erin O'Brien. Welcome to Sit Down, Erin.
Thank you for having me, guys.
This was a really cool movie. Very very interesting. I knew nothing about this area that's in New Jersey until this movie came out. This is something that
there's a lot of like haunted areas of New Jersey. There's a book, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Weird New Jersey, and it just has like kind of all like the myths and like the haunted areas, and apparently New Jersey is very haunted.
But you're a Jersey girl. Was this a place that you'd heard of growing up?
Actually, no, I've never heard of it, but we had a similar road where I grew up. I grew up in Middletown, New Jersey, which is the Jersey Shore. So that's like an hour and like 20 minutes from Westford. But we had like a similar road that we used to drive on at night and just try and scare ourselves. And but it kind of had like some similar like stories to that of Clinton Road. But yeah, I've never heard of it until I actually got the script, and then I started researching, and I was like, wow, it's a lot of like really crazy stuff.
Yeah, where I grew up, we had a road called, it wasn't officially called this. It was just what people called it, was Devil's Elbow. And it was this really hairpin turn, but it had all these little curves. Then you went down to the bottom of this hairpin turn, all these curves coming up. So it looked like a really busted up arm, you know. Yeah, the teenagers would race through there, and the cops hated it.
The stupid things we did when we were teenagers.
And then you get older, and you still do dumb things. What
exactly.
the hell?
It's true. I haven't stopped.
So this, like I said, this was a fun movie. Interesting urban legends that came out of this. How long did it take for you to make this movie?
So
on your end,
I was there 3 weeks in New Jersey, but I believe the whole process was like about 4 weeks, and then I think they did some like some reshoots or whatever for another week. But yeah, I was only there for 3 weeks, and we actually shot on Clinton Road. I was only there one day. We kind of shot like outside of it a lot. But when we were actually on that road, it was so creepy. There's no lights driving like through the road, which is darkness, and it's really freaky. And we all kind of felt like something, you know, like our hair was like standing on edge. Like we had pins and needles. The generators kept going off when we were shooting. We were all like just like really freaked out.
Now, you're in a horror film. Do you get freaked out easy?
Yeah, I get very freaked out. So I like to watch scary movies. I always, like, since I was a kid, I watched every scary movie I probably shouldn't have. So I like watching them, but honestly, I can't sleep for like a month. I don't know if you remember that movie House with George Wendt, where they like the monsters are like in the closet.
Yeah. You're talking about the one with William Catt and Richard Mole as Big Ben.
Yeah, it came out like a million years ago, but
1986. But okay.
My closet door closed because I'm like afraid of something coming out of the closet. So I like them, but I'm very imaginative, so I get like really freaked out.
Yeah. See, I'm like you. I've been watching horror movies since I was 5, and that's because of my mom.
Okay, so she was a horror fan.
She still is.
Yeah, love it.
She whenever there's something like horror related that's coming out in the theaters, we got to go see it together.
I watch a little bit less now because I feel like I'm not quite as adventurous as I used to be, and it's not always worth like not being able to sleep. So I see a lot less now.
I've only ever had one movie freak me out. After that movie freaked me out, I never got freaked out again, and that was Race with the Devil.
Never saw it.
It's a cool movie.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle it. Maybe I'll put that on the list.
It's about a satanic cult chasing a bunch of people across Texas. I mean, you know, so I mean, it's not really that hardcore of a, you know, spill your guts type of thing. Nothing like that. It's just, it freaked me out because I lived next to woods growing up, and there were rumors that a satanic cult used to hang out in there. And so that freaked me out because I saw the movie. I'm like, oh my God. But,
that kind of stuff is really scary too. Like Rosemary's Baby, can't watch it. The Exorcist, it just feels like it could happen. So I'm like, I can't watch those movies.
oh, you're breaking my heart. Those are two of my favorite movies.
I seen parts of it and I was like, dude, I have to shut this off or I'll never sleep again.
I have a theory about The Exorcist, though. Now, did you grow up in a highly religious family?
In a way.
A highly religious family?
We're Catholic, so we went to church.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah, we weren't like too like over the top or anything, but yeah.
Everyone I know that was raised in like a religious family gets more freaked out by The Exorcist because they understand the whole religious background to it and sin and all that stuff. So they get freaked out a lot more. I wasn't raised that way.
Okay, that makes sense.
So to me, it's Reagan McNeil, getting possessed.
Yeah. Oh my God, no, I can't even handle that because it's kind of like, a lot of it's like based on like, well, if you don't follow these rules, you're gonna like this is gonna happen. So you grow up like with that, then you're like, oh shit, like if I do something, I'll get possessed or I don't know. That would be for me, but that makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah, and so I can understand why some people that were raised in like highly religious families don't watch those kinds of movies.
Right.
I'd rather watch a slasher just because there's no God involved.
I mean, I don't mind the slashers as much. I think like sometimes it's like whoa, it's a little over the top. I don't have to close my eyes, but I think I might prefer them. And I like The Shining. Like I mean, who doesn't? Like those types of movies. I watched a million times in high school, and it scared me. But I was like, I keep watching it, so it didn't scare me enough where I was like, all right.
I love that. So, I mean, how'd you get involved with this? Was it just an audition, or did you know somebody? And
yeah, I actually knew. So I knew Vincent Young. We did a movie called What Seth Leaves Behind, a thriller. So he introduced me to Steve Stanulis, who was directing Flint Road, and I was like, dude, I would love to audition. So I read the script, I put an audition on, and they made an offer. So I was like, awesome. So yeah, Vincent Young, he hooked it up.
That's so cool. I love hearing these stories. I do this every week, and I get to hear how people tried out for stuff or what and it's the coolest thing. Last week I had Dee Wallace on.
Oh, nice, awesome.
And this week I get to talk to you and just talk. I mean, is there anything about this movie that you weren't sure was going to fly as far as the story goes?
No, I mean, I thought the story was great when I read it, but you kind of, I don't know. I think when you're filming a movie, it's like, this is our outline and we're just going to kind of see like what happens. I mean, I think we stuck to the script for the most part. There were a few scenes that we improv'd. But yeah, nothing like, it's pretty straightforward, so not too many surprises. Although after you like film it, since you're filming it on all these like pieces and you're filming it backwards and you're not, seeing everybody else's work, it's still a surprise when you see the movie because you're like, oh, I didn't get to see that. That's cool. Or, I wasn't there that day for that scene.
I now get that reference I made.
What was that?
I said, you're looking at the movie, you go, oh, I now understand that reference I made.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. Yeah, and then everything kind of like comes together. And then you never know like how it's going to be cut or what they're going to show or what they're not going to show. But no, I was really happy with it. I thought it was great.
So did you always want to be an actress?
Yes. I always so my first job was at a video store in high school, like a VHS, like a Blockbuster, but like a tiny one. So I literally it was always kind of dead. So I just sat there and I watched movie after movie, like all day long. That was basically my job. They were paying me to sit there and watch movies. But I really loved, like, I've always loved like indie film. So it's kind of like cool that I got to like, now I get to work on a lot of indie film. But yeah, I always wanted to. I was kind of shy when I was younger, and then I was just like forced myself. I'm like, you want to do this? You're going to do it. So.
I get that. I was kind of shy when I was younger too.
And I mean, my like getting up in front of people was like middle school, wouldn't have done it. Like high school, the end of high school was like amazing.
Yeah, I remember like in middle school, you had to stand up in front of the class and read a report. I'd go up there and I'd read it, and everyone would go, "We can't hear you." I
Oh,
read it. I don't care whether or not you can hear me.
yeah. Like I'm doing it because I have to do it.
Exactly. No, I was super shy in high school. I didn't date in high school. I could not talk to girls. You know,
Well, I didn't really either. So
I learned the secret to talking to girls like a year after high school.
high school sucks. I'm sorry. I mean, some people. I mean, there are some people that were like had the best experiences and loved it. For me, I was like, oh my god, when is this going to be over?
Yeah, I was doing the same thing, just counting the days.
Yeah.
But yeah, the secret was
a lot of things you're like not interested in. Like
yeah.
take classes that you're like maybe not so great at, but you have to do it. I still have those like high school nightmares sometimes where I'm like late for class.
Yeah, the classes didn't bother me. I mean, I was really good at like history and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just all the social networking type stuff, you know.
I feel ya.
And then like a year afterwards, I realized my total anxiety of talking to girls in high school was I was always worried they're gonna like laugh at me or turn me down or something like that. And I oh my god, who gives a crap what they think?
Exactly, but you don't learn that until you like are way out of high school, you know.
It was like a year later, and I'm like, what the hell did I care what they thought?
Right. That's the advice like I would give to my younger self too. Like, who cares? It's high school. No one remembers it.
So when you were working in New Jersey as a video clerk, were you making movies in Jersey at the time?
No, I actually didn't start until later. I think I did my first movie like in my like mid-20s. I worked with director Jared Cohn, who is just directed tons of stuff now, and he moved out to LA right around the same time I did. So I worked with him in New York a few times, did a few indie films with him, and then he put me in a movie called Jailbait, another movie, a few movies for the Asylum. So
I've probably seen them then.
Yeah, most likely. They were on Netflix. I think Showtime for a little bit.
Jailbait. Now that was, I think I might have seen that movie.
It's been on there for a long time. We did that movie like 7 years ago, but it was on Netflix for a long time. Crazy prison movie.
Okay, yeah. I think I might own that movie.
Yeah.
I have so many movies I don't know what I own anymore.
I hear you, especially with Netflix. Like I feel I like legit watch movies like it's my job. So I'm like can't remember everything I've seen, but I feel like I've seen pretty much.
Yeah, it's think the collection is close to 5,000 titles.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, and that's just me going out. Like, I mean, when DVDs first came out, I was kind of like, oh my god, you can buy you can go to Walmart and get like these DVDs at the $5 bin box. You know, it's like I need that one and that one. You know, you walk out with like $50 and you got 10 DVDs, and all of a sudden, you know, you go back the next week and you got 10 more, and within like 10 weeks, you got 100. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. I used to do the Netflix where they mail them to you and mail them back. So much easier now.
I did the Blockbuster of that.
Okay. I miss Blockbuster. Loved Blockbuster.
But did you see that thing that happened in LA?
No.
Over the weekend, someone did a pop-up Blockbuster.
Oh, that's so cool. I wasn't here this weekend. I was in Knoxville, but if I was here, I would have went.
I don't know if it's still up or not, but basically what it was is some artist, I'm guessing, licensed the rights to use the name or something like that, and just found a little hole in a strip mall and put, you know, they made it look like the inside of a Blockbuster. There's a wall that's like nothing but VHS tapes that you could stand against and have a picture taken there. And
cool. That's a great idea. Now I'm gonna look that up now. Maybe there'll be another one.
It was called Good Dumb or Dumb Good presents Blockbuster or something like that.
That's awesome. That's a really great idea.
And you go there and buy like shirts with Blockbuster Be Kind Rewind on them and stuff like that.
That's so cool. Oh my god, that's such a blast from the past. Yeah. That was Friday night, like getting
that was Friday night. I feel sorry for people that do use Netflix. It's like they don't get it.
I know. A lot of my younger friends, I'm like, you're missing out. Like, I don't know what it was. It was just cool. It was like after school, you go to Blockbuster, pick out a bunch of movies, and that was your evening. Order pizza.
Half the evening was wandering through the aisles trying to figure out what you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Try to get the new releases.
Yeah, I was the guy over in the horror section.
I did a lot of that too. Um, what was it, like elementary school? We used to like. I was watching so many horror movies. I really shouldn't have been, but we always my best friend and I would go right to the horror section and grab all like the like every movie we shouldn't be watching. There's like nudity and blood, and I remember my friend's mom was like, "Are you sure this is appropriate?" We're like, "Yeah, absolutely." But
Yeah, I remember my mom was cool with the nudity and the blood and all that stuff.
yeah,
Um, but then when I had like friends over and like, okay, well, we're gonna watch a movie, so we'd go down there and I'd get like Mausoleum or something like that, and as we're going, we're gonna get in trouble. I'm like, we're not gonna get in trouble. No, we're gonna get in trouble. No, she'll probably watch it with us.
we watched a lot of movies in my family. That was like our entertainment. Drive-in, we used to go drive-in all the time. That was cool.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, what's your favorite drive-in memory?
We saw Crocodile Dundee at the drive-in.
Oh,
Yeah, that was cool. We took my dad had like a Jeep, so we would just like put our pajamas on and like lay in the back.
yeah.
I probably fell asleep like halfway through, but
I saw the first two Friday the 13th at the drive-in movie, but my favorite is I saw The Howling.
okay, wow, that's cool.
At the drive-in. It was just the one of those werewolf movies that's just kind of like stuck with me for the rest of my life. Yeah, we had a pickup, and we would just throw mattresses in the back and sleeping bags, and
I love that. It's like a perfect evening.
yeah.
There's a drive-in in it's like an hour and a half from Los Angeles. So my boyfriend and I went a few years ago. I don't even remember what we saw. It was just like so cool to just be like sitting in the car watching a movie.
They also do that thing sometimes. I heard about it, like in LA, like they'll put up a inflatable screen in the park.
Oh yeah, in New York, Bryant Park, we actually saw Carrie last week. We were in New York. I was there filming, and I had like a ton of downtime. So in Bryant Park, they show movies like I think like once a month, maybe every couple of weeks in the summer. It was totally crowded, like everybody sitting on the lawn, and yeah, we saw Carrie. It was really cool.
Which Carrie? Sissy Spacek?
The original one, yeah. Didn't love the new ones, but the original ones also.
I actually liked the Chloe Moretz one.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I always compare, and I'm like, not that I didn't like, not that I hated it, but it's just I always compare it to the original, and I always love the original more.
Nothing wrong with that. I do like the original, but I always thought that Sissy Spacek's, take on Carrie White was just a little too subdued.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, everyone else seemed like that they were right spot on, but with Sissy Spacek, I was just kind of like, I don't know. I heard at one time it was supposed to be Carrie Fisher.
Oh wow, that would have been interesting. That would have been way different, I feel like.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess
so you're in New York and you're working. What are you filming in New York, if I can ask?
Oh, so I actually was working with Steve Stanulus again, the Clinton Road director. We did a movie called Chronicle of a Serial Killer. So it has DMX in it. Brendan Sexton, who I've always been a fan of. He's from Boys Don't Cry. He's in the new Russian Dolls. He was in Welcome to the Dollhouse, which was like my favorite when I was younger. But yeah, I was in and out. I worked one day and then went to Knoxville. I was doing the Fanboy Expo in Knoxville.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. I got to meet like Pee Wee Herman was there. I was like, dude, this is awesome. So I had like a little booth set up. It was fun. It was my first Comic-Con. Well, no, I went to San Diego Comic-Con like years and years ago. But yeah, it was really cool. The cast from the Last Starfighter was there. I got to know them, got to have dinner with them. So it was an awesome experience. Because that movie's classic.
So you were there as a guest?
Yeah, I was a guest. So I had a little booth and did some signings, and they're doing another one in October. Hopefully I'll go back for that one, but we'll see.
Where's that one? Is that one also going to be in Kentucky?
Yeah, it's Knoxville. Knoxville was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Cute town.
You don't hear. I mean, doing the show with the guys, I hear all about the ones that are on the East Coast, but you don't hear a lot about the smaller conventions. They're like in Kentucky and whatnot. That's cool that they have that stuff.
It was a good turnout, and everyone's just like so excited to be there. Everyone was really cool, and I was excited about Pee Wee Herman.
Meeting Paul Rubens would be cool. That'd be very, very cool. Yeah, is there a white whale for you that you would like to meet?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is like, I would like to meet him.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a Terminator 2 growing up. Loved Terminator 1. He was like my idol. He was like my crush.
Oh.
I love him. Yeah. And I've met a lot of like people that like Henry Winkler, like loved him. I met him. I met Kevin Smith, who is actually from my hometown. I've been lucky to meet a lot of really cool people, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, I would like to meet him.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, I want to be a Terminator or the next Terminator.
The Terminator movies, I'm not sure. I don't know. They jumped the rails like a long time ago.
Well, I honestly only really like the first one, second one, like love. After that, I was just like, these aren't for me. And now they're doing like the new one was supposed to just be. It has Why did I just forget her name?
Linda Hamilton.
Connor. So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, I actually like the first three. I think I'm the one person on the planet that actually likes Salvation.
Okay. I don't really like. I was watching it, but I was like not invested when I was watching it. I think I was like doing other things. So maybe if I sat down and like rewatched it, I'd be like, oh, okay.
After that, they're just
they jump ship.
Yeah, I quit watching after a while.
But you liked the first and the second one, right?
Oh yeah, love the first, second, and third one.
Cool.
I saw the first one in the theaters.
Okay.
So I'm old, as Kevin likes to point out. But I know that we need to get set up for the live show.
Okay.
So if you want people to follow you on the internet, where can they find you?
Oh, Erin O'Brien actress is like pretty much everything. Twitter is Erin O'Brien actor. Erin O'Brien actress is Instagram, and then Facebook's just Erin O'Brien.
And it's kind of a common name, so.
Exactly. I know. There's like a lot on Twitter, but that's why I'm like actor, just so they know. There's a lot of us.
Well, Erin, I want to thank you for coming on. I had a blast chatting with you.
Yeah, this was fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you making the movies I want to watch.
Hopefully I make a bunch more.
I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So for Erin O'Brien, of course, I am the 13th Wolfman, and as always, I'm on the prowl.
Mm-hmm.